Hey everyone, picture this. The world of rock and roll stops spinning for a moment. The Prince of Darkness, the legendary Ozzy Osbourne, is gone, and his wife Sharon Osbourne stands by his side one last time, whispering words that bring a room full of rock stars to tears. What did she say that broke everyone's hearts? Why did she ask for forgiveness in front of their closest family and friends? And what secret was Ozzy hiding in his final days that only Sharon knew? Stick with me, because this story is going to hit you right in the heart. This isn't just about a funeral. It's about love, regret, and a legacy that will never fade. Ozzy Osbourne, the wild voice of Black Sabbath, passed away at 76, leaving behind a world that feels a little emptier without his larger-than-life energy. He wasn't just a rock star. He was a force of nature, a man who screamed his soul out on stage and made heavy metal what it is today. But when he left us on July 22, 2025, it wasn't the music or the fame that people talked about most. It was the quiet, emotional goodbye at his funeral in Birmingham, England, where Sharon Osbourne gave a tribute that left everyone speechless. Her words weren't just a farewell. They were a window into the real Ozzy, the man behind the madness, and the love story that held them together for over 40 years. In this video, we're going to take you through those final days, the secrets that came to light, and the stunning moment at the funeral that's still making fans cry. Let's dive into the story of Ozzy Osbourne's last chapter. Ozzy's health had been a battle for years. He'd been open about his fight with Parkinson's disease, diagnosed in 2019, and the toll it took on his body. He'd also had a serious ATV accident in 2003 that left metal rods in his spine, and a fall in 2019 made things even worse. By early 2025, things took a turn. Ozzy canceled a string of Europe. The funeral wasn't what you'd expect for a rock legend. Sharon chose to keep it small and private, held at their Buckinghamshire estate on July 31, 2025. No cameras, no media circus, just family and a few close friends in a simple ceremony. Sharon wanted one moment that belonged to them, not the world. The service lasted less than an hour, but what happened inside changed everyone there. Jack Osbourne spoke first, his voice shaking as he shared memories of Ozzy, not as a rock star, but as a dad who tried hard, even when he stumbled. Jack said Ozzy had apologized weeks before for not always being there when they were young. "You did your best, Dad," Jack said, tears streaming down his face. "That's enough." Kelly went next, talking about how her dad was the loudest guy in any room, but also the most misunderstood. She shared a voice message Ozzy sent her just 2 days before he passed, saying, "You've got your mom's strength and my craziness, kid. You're unstoppable. I love you." The room was already in tears. Then came Sharon. She didn't have a speech prepared. She just walked to Ozzy's coffin, put her hand on it, and spoke from her heart. "This wasn't how it was supposed to end," she said softly, her voice trembling. "But maybe this is the peace you were looking for, my love. Rest now." Not a single person in the room could hold back tears. Even the priest needed a moment to steady himself. As they lowered Ozzy into the ground on their estate, a violin played a slow, haunting version of "Mama, I'm Coming Home," a song Sharon said always made Ozzy cry. It was a goodbye that felt like it came straight from their hearts, far from the spotlight he lived in for decades. But the story didn't end there. Just days after the funeral, the world learned about a shocking twist in Ozzy's will, unsealed shortly after his death. Everyone thought Sharon would inherit most of his 200. Just when the world was reeling from the will, Sharon did something no one expected. The day after the funeral, she sat down for a raw, no-filter interview. No makeup, no glamour, just Sharon and her truth. She talked about watching Ozzy fade, not just his body, but his spirit. He wasn't scared of dying, she said. He was scared of what he'd left behind. Then she dropped a bombshell. 3 days before he died, Ozzy asked to be alone with her. He was weak, hooked to machines, but he made her turn them off and close the door. Then he whispered, "I did something long ago, something no one knows. If it comes out now, I'm sorry." I didn't mean to break everything. Sharon froze. It wasn't about cheating or drugs. It was heavier. She hinted at a night in 1989, a party, and a friend who vanished. Ozzy thought it was buried, but he always carried guilt, like he was part of something dark. Fans online went wild, digging up an old story about a roadie who disappeared after a night with Ozzy. Was Ozzy confessing to something he did or something he saw? Sharon didn't say more, but her silence spoke volumes. She went on, tears in her eyes, saying Ozzy never forgave himself for the man he used to be. The drugs, the chaos, the pain he caused. He'd say, "Sharon, I hope God doesn't see that version of me," she shared. He was scared he'd be judged for his past. She told of nightmares where a faceless figure chased him, calling him by his real name, John, like it was trying to pull the real Ozzy out from the legend. Sharon also revealed Ozzy left behind sealed letters. One addressed to "the one I hurt most," though she hasn't opened it and doesn't know who it's for. Even more shocking, Ozzy recorded over 60 hours of video diaries over the years, talking to the camera like it was his last audience. Those tapes are locked away, but companies like Netflix and HBO are offering millions too. Oh, get them. Fans are begging for them, wanting to hear Ozzy's final truths. Ozzy's funeral wasn't the end. It was the start of a new chapter of questions and emotions. Sharon's tribute didn't just honor a rock star. It showed the world the man who loved deeply, messed up often, and fought to make things right. She spoke of Ozzy as the guy who cried watching Kelly sing, who said sorry in the quiet moments, and who always came home, no matter how wild his life got. The media loved his crazy stories, biting bats, trashing hotels. But Sharon showed us the Ozzy who was human, who carried regrets, but also carried love. On July 30th, 2025, before the private funeral, Birmingham gave Ozzy a send-off he'd have loved. Thousands lined the streets for a funeral procession chanting, "Ozzy, Ozzy, Ozzy," as a brass band played Black Sabbath's Iron Man. Sharon, Jack, Kelly, Amy, and Lewis stopped at Black Sabbath Bridge, where fans left flowers, messages, and even bat-shaped balloons, remembering the infamous 1982 bat-biting moment. Sharon laid a pink rose. Kelly wore Ozzy's iconic round sunglasses, and Jack pinned a silver cross to his tie, nodding to Ozzy's style. Amy wore a bat brooch, and Lewis had a skull and crossbones tie. Sharon's most touching tribute was wearing Ozzy's wedding ring from their 2017 vow renewal on a chain around her neck. Fans noticed, posting on X things like, "Sharon wearing Ozzy's ring at his funeral broke my heart." It was a small gesture that spoke volumes about their bond. The procession passed Ozzy's childhood home in Aston and Villa Park, where he'd performed his final Black Sabbath concert on July 5, 2025. That show, called Back to the Beginning, was a massive farewell with Metallica, Guns N' Roses, and more paying tribute. Ozzy, frail but fierce, sat on a throne and told 40,000 fans, "You've no idea how I feel. Thank you from my heart." It was his last bow, and Sharon made sure it happened, giving him one more moment in the spotlight. The city's love poured out during the procession, with fans singing War Pigs and shouting, "We love you, Sharon." She flashed Ozzy's signature peace sign, a gesture he'd explained in 2002 as a nod to his hippie roots, and the crowd roared back. At the private funeral, music royalty like Elton John, Marilyn Manson, and Metallica's James Hetfield showed up to say goodbye. Marilyn Manson posted, "I'm grateful you let me into your life, Ozzy. Your legacy lives on." Celine Dion, who shared a label with Ozzy, wrote, "He was a true original, fearless and kind." Even a wildlife preserve in California named a baby rhino, Ozzy, after him, born the day he died. The tributes showed how much he meant to so many, from fans to superstars. Ozzy's life wasn't perfect. He battled addiction, made mistakes, and hurt people he loved. But he also changed music forever, gave us songs like Paranoid and Crazy Train, and showed us a family that fought through chaos to find love. Sharon's tribute peeled back the legend to show us John Michael Osbourne, the kid from Birmingham who became a global icon. His story wasn't just about music. It was about resilience, redemption, and a love that lasted through it all. What's your favorite Ozzy memory? Maybe it's a song that got you through a tough day, or a moment from the Osbournes that made you laugh. Share it in the comments. Let's celebrate the man who gave us so much. If this story moved you, hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe for more deep dives into the lives of legends. Don't forget to tap the notification bell so you never miss a video. Ozzy Osbourne wasn't just a rock star, he was a storm that shook the world. Rest in power, Ozzy. Your light will shine forever.